everybody? It's your boy Chris, man. We are back here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast on IG Live here. We're just talking to the wonderful screenwriter, scriptwriter, and producer of film and media, Alison Laurie Lott. We're going to continue our conversation with her, have her back on, and yeah, we're just going to keep game on for part one. This is officially part two, and we are going to, like I said, have a good time and finish our conversation as that. So yes, definitely invited her back, and yeah, she will be back in just a few moments. Looking forward to it.
I like it.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back, Allison. Here we go. I love it. Listen, I
What
was
happened? What happened?
I know, like what happened, what was going on. But you know what? That's the beautiful thing about technology. We can always restart that thing and come back to it. So I love that. So now
no,
we
but
are here. Go ahead.
no, but the point I was making is I love Hitchcock. I love old Hitchcock, and that's why I do cameos in all my films. I love Chaplin. I don't write the music, but I do know Kia Colton, and I use her music, and I know Travis Frank, and I use his music. So, because I am a singer, I do know how to sing and I do know how to dance, but I'm not a music composer. So I know these composers,
Right.
but in terms of I'm producing my own writing, and I'll do cameos in my own films, just like I did a cameo in my first production of Buddha Zone, which is on YouTube, and it's been on it so long that title was so popular. You can find Buddha Zone all over YouTube because
Right.
people love the
Absolutely.
title too damn much. But the lucky thing is, because it's so old, to find it, you have to put part one and part two to find my film. And I never copyrighted that title, and you can find Buddhism all over YouTube of people talking about Buddhism. I swear to you, they stole my title. And
Wow.
unfortunately, I didn't copyright it. I didn't copyright the title, so oh well.
I know, right? I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but you beat me to it, Allison. That's just what it was. But this is a great segue because I want to talk about now mental health and work-life balance. In this profession, especially with me being a journalist, I've seen many journalists walk away because their mental health was affected. I've seen journalists walk away because their work-life balance isn't good. It's never going to be 100%, but it was just overwhelming to them. Talk to me about, you working in media, writing this, writing that, and just doing all different kinds of things. Talk to me about how your mental health stays strong, but also still have a work-life balance.
Well, I'm sure because born and raised in Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo every day. I'm sure you know Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, right?
No, what is that? Break it down to me.
Well, you do know who Tina Turner is, don't you?
Of
She
course.
was
What's love got to do with it?
Yeah, she showed her chanting in that film. And I was born in chanting. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to meet Tina, but I have friends that met Tina and SGI.
Hmm. Okay.
And that's my Buddhism. I think because being born and raised a practitioner of Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, doing my chanting every day, doing my gongyo every day, that's reciting portions of the 60 chapters of the sutra, I'm able to have wisdom of what's the most important thing that I need to do today,
Right.
and to have not to overwhelm my schedule, and not to I'm done. To me, that old story of the turtle and the hare, and how
Of
the
course.
hare is like running like crazy, running like crazy, running like crazy to beat the race.
Mm-hmm.
But then he does stupid. I hate to cuss, but he does stupid shit, right? He does
Mm-hmm.
stupid shit that makes him prevents him from winning the race. And the turtle is slow and steady, right? He
Right.
slow and steady wins the race. So
Always.
instead of I try not to overwhelm myself too much. It's like today I'm going to focus on this today, and what I need to do for my father or what I need to do for me, and I just try to give myself time to breathe, give myself time
Right.
to not overwhelm myself. And there's just so many people that make themselves sick and stress themselves out to no end because they want to put so much to do all in one day.
Right.
And I guess because I'm a Buddhist and I believe in like, I get the wisdom of what is the most important thing today? What do I need to do today? What's the most important thing today? And
Right.
it's really, when you're really good at scheduling out your schedule because luckily I make my own schedule of
Right.
like when my dad scheduled his appointments and when I schedule the editing and when I schedule this and schedule that, that I make my own schedule of what works for me, of what hours work for me when I do my acupuncture, when everything that I do, that I try not to put too many eggs in one basket. You know that old fashioned
Yeah.
saying, don't put too many eggs in one basket?
Absolutely. No question.
And I just think it's really sad that so many people just don't have the fortune to just be leisure about their day and just leisure about what their work and just they just push themselves way too hard and they die way too young.
Hmm.
You know? Don't forget there was a man in China lived over 200 years old. It's in the Guinness Book of Records. There was a man
So
in China lived over 200 years old.
so
You
let me
know?
ask you, what if you translating that chant? What does that chant mean in English?
Well, Nam is devotion to. It's Sanskrit because Nichiren Daishonin. He basically, to make a very long story short, Myoho Rengekyo is the title of Lotus Sutra, who Shakyamuni Buddha said was his highest teaching, was his of how to overcome the suffering of birth, old age, sickness, and death in one lifetime.
Hmm.
That's because Shakyamuni was being defiant to the Hindu belief
Hmm.
of the reincarnation of the lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of suffering to finally you had to be a man and a priest to attain enlightenment. That's the traditional Hindu logic. And Shakyamuni was defiant. Why can't a woman attain enlightenment? And why do you have to be a priest to attain enlightenment? And how can I do it in one lifetime?
Right.
So when Shakyamuni was striving, and Shakyamuni gave himself the name Shakyamuni when he attained enlightenment. His original name was Gautama. That's why some people know him as Gautama. So, basically, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm just basically saying that when Shakyamuni said the Nirvana Sutra before he died, he basically said, I did it, that I helped the people, helped the world, alleviate their suffering in one lifetime and attain enlightenment in one lifetime, and women too, in one lifetime by being a practitioner of the Lotus Sutra. And that's why Tibetans also practice the Lotus Sutra as well as this SGI, so the National Vibration Society, in
Sure.
190 countries and territories around the world. They all, in their respective languages, all say Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, because Myoho is literally the mystic law, and the mystic law is a more profound concept than the Judeo-Christian thought of God.
Okay.
Basically equal to you and many embodying one in mind, many functions of the universe functioning together to guide you and help you and bring you to a more happier, more enlightened state to really elevate your life condition, to really guide you and help you. And Renge is referring to the lotus flower, which constantly seeds and blooms within itself. It literally shows, because Buddhism was talking about cause and effect way before science was,
Right.
thousands of years before science was, and that's why I'm always quoting the quote, "Every causation is an equal greater reaction," because that literally proves what Buddhism was talking about 1,000 years earlier about cause and effect. About when you make a profound cause, you get a profound effect, and the lotus flowers constantly grows in the dirtiest, muckiest of ponds,
Right.
gorgeous, huge, massive flower, constantly doing cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, is constantly season blooming. And so that's Renge, and Kyo is just sound vibration or teaching. But in 190 countries and territories around SGI, they're all saying Namyo Renge-kyo, and they're hopefully every day, you know, improving on their lives, improving on their school, improving on their work, improving on their relationships, improving on it. You could improve on anything in your life, anything that you want to work on in your life, anything you want to improve on in your life. As Tina shows what she went through, overcoming that the courage to stand up to Ike
Right.
and leave Ike,
Right.
and the relationship she had when she left America altogether and went to Europe. She had the most wonderful, beautiful, amazing relationship for the whole 20, 30 remaining years of her life. That she found the most wonderful, most loving, most kind, most sweethearted man. And that was through her courage to stand up to her karma. Because obviously, I'm sorry to say, I'm not saying this lifetime, but maybe in a past lifetime, she might have been cruel to someone else in a previous lifetime. But in Buddhism, we see value in that because, okay, so she made that bad cause in a previous lifetime, but look at how she showed the actual proof
Right.
of the most incredible life that she created for herself through that abuse, through the verbal and mental and physical abuse that she received from Ike, that she was able to really expand her life and make it the best of her life. And she wasn't that old when she died, but she got to live a full life, you know.
She
And
did.
and I loved the movie. I loved how Angela Bassett, how she played her, and I loved that.
Mm.
It made me want to chant even more. Being that I was born into Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, that made me want to chant even more and really think of impossible dreams and chant impossible dreams. And here I am doing an interview with you. This alone is an impossible dream of being a
Mm.
producer and being a screenwriter. And I have a documentary coming out. And what?
Absolutely.
So,
You got a lot of
you know,
stuff to be very happy about. A lot of stuff that's going on, which is very good, and I'm glad to hear that. I want to get into this next question though, and that's advice. What is some advice that you would give maybe a recent college graduate or maybe an intern somewhere that's wanting to do media or wanting to be in film, wants to be a producer or a screenwriter? What kind of advice would you give that individual?
hmm, don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to, if you see someone like me or someone else on the street who's connected to the industry, don't be afraid to approach them. And definitely make a beautiful business card and always have business cards on you and
Hmm.
always be ready at any point in time to talk about what your idea is, to talk about what your vision is. Whatever, however you want to put yourself out there on social media, however you want to put yourself out there in person. I just think that there's a lot of kids today are the more introverted and extroverted, and that they need to not to be afraid
Okay.
to approach to whoever they, in addition to try saying I'm going to get killed, with to be in rhythm with whoever it is you want to be in rhythm with or who you want to meet, to that particular person you want to meet, to be connected, to get connected to the industry. Because to get your foot in the door, unfortunately, it's not just who you know, the traditional saying who you know, but it's
Right.
also who you meet. That really take that opportunity not to be afraid. Okay, so Spielberg is having lunch with you. Don't be afraid to walk up to Spielberg and be like, hey, I just got out of college, you got an introductory something for me. You never know, he might like you and he might help you get your foot in the door. Because it's like, you just don't be afraid to put yourself out there, whether it's on social media or in person with people, or go, there's so many film groups that you could join where you can network with other film people and talk about films. And you never know, you might end up collaborating with them. You might end up working with them. And
Right.
it's, just don't, the bottom line, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Just don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
I
You
like
know,
that.
because this, you know, uh, you can't just sit on your ass and wait for the opportunity to come to you. You got to make that opportunity.
Absolutely.
you gotta make it happen. You can't just, hide in your bed and wait for that Oscar to be on your bed, you know? You know?
I've never heard of an
You
Oscar.
know?
I've never heard of an Oscar being delivered to anybody's bed. So you're right about that.
Well,
You're totally right.
what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, you did you took the effort, you got the degree. Okay, you took the effort, you went to the film school. Okay, you'd made the effort, and truly, and a lot what a lot of film students end up doing is, if they really make wonderful connections in film school of people that they met in film school that they really enjoyed working with in film school, they
Hmm.
continue working with them and they end up making their own thing, and they end up through, you know, through connecting other people, they make the right connections, and before you know it, they're at the Oscars. Before you know it, they're at the, Golden Globes. So whatever.
Absolutely.
It's just like, just you gotta just not be. I cannot emphasize enough to not be afraid. Don't be afraid to if a celebrity is going to be rude to you, that's their problem, not yours. If they're going to
Absolutely.
be rude and nasty to you, if they're not going to be cool and be rude, that's their problem, not yours. Just brush it off and keep putting yourself out there. You
No
know.
doubt. I like that. I do. And great answer to that. We have reached the portion of my podcast, and now we're going to play my interactive game called This or That. It's a game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's really simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, Allison, are you ready?
Ready as I ever be.
Okay, well, then let's get ready to rock. Here we go. Which restaurant out of these two, if you had to choose, which restaurant would you rather eat at? Five Guys or In and Out?
I don't eat meat, so neither.
Oh my goodness. So
I
you're a
don't eat meat.
vegetarian?
No, I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Which seafood place would you rather eat at? Would you rather eat at Long John Silver or Red Lobster?
Red Lobster.
Oh, okay, do about that. All right, here we go. So, which seafood, if they said, hey, which seafood of these two would you rather eat? Would you rather eat oysters or would you rather eat lobster?
Neither.
Oh my goodness.
Lobster, it doesn't taste good without butter. And oysters? I don't know.
You said hold on. Did you say lobster don't taste good without butter?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
I've had it. It does taste good without
Okay.
butter. And I don't want to
Okay.
do butter.
Okay. Okay. Which I would say this. Do you like pasta?
Nope, I'm gluten sensitive, no gluten. You do
Okay.
not
So
know. You do not
so
know. My list of food allergies is absurd.
I gotta ask you, Allison, what exactly do you eat on a daily basis outside of fish?
Nuts and fruit and
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Allison, those are not meals. Those are snacks. What meals do you eat? You said nuts and fruit. Okay.
when I go to Indian restaurant, I love this lentil dish I love, and I love the gulab jamun, and I love the mango lassi. I
The
love
what?
Indian food. I eat Indian food every week.
You said the gullah John and the mango what?
I love Indian food. I eat Indian food every single week.
Okay. All right. We going
And I love Japanese food. I eat sushi every week.
and the sushi is more relatable to me. No question. No question
I eat,
about that. Okay.
I go to, I eat Japanese food. I eat miso soup and sushi and green tea ice cream. I eat that every week.
Green tea ice cream. What?
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh hell no. Oh no. Green tea ice cream. Lord have mercy. You're about the
It's so
second
good.
one in
It's
almost
so
as many
good.
weeks. In many weeks, you're the second one that said green tea ice cream.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, y'all built a little bit different. That's okay though. We're gonna continue with this or that. Here we go. These next four questions have to do with music concerts you rather go to. Okay? So, which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see The Boss, Bruce Springsteen, or Bon Jovi?
The Boss.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Now, here we go.
And you want to know why?
Sure, go ahead. Tell me.
Bruce Springsteen is less commercial.
He is. He is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Than Bon
But
Jovi. Yes, he's definitely less
mm-hmm.
commercial than Bon Jovi for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, this next one here. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Journey or the Eagles?
Eagles.
You know, I listened to one of their songs because I knew of them. Obviously, Hotel California. That album was a classic, but uh, Seven Bridges Road is one of my favorite songs of theirs. The harmonies in that song is just absolutely amazing. So yes,
Yeah,
definitely understand.
I've done some singing on my Instagram. I did it to Arrested Development album. I sang to Arrested Development album on one of my videos.
Oh, okay. What was Arrested Development? Was that like Tennessee or was that Mr. Wendell? What was that?
I did the whole album. I did the whole
Oh,
album.
you did the
Mm-hmm.
whole album singing on. I'm gonna have to see some video of that of Arrested Development.
It's on my Instagram. It's there. It's there.
Okay, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to watch that.
I even sang to that classic Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge. I sang to that one too. I did a video with that one too.
Okay, okay. Say less.
Mhm.
Here we go. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Run DMC or LL Cool J?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard to decide. Or I'll do both. That's both. That's both.
Right, but
That's
right,
both. That's both.
but Allison, this is not this, that, or them. This is this or that.
But
You can't choose both.
I like them both.
I, but yeah, that wasn't the question. The question was whether you liked them both. The question was which one would you rather see? Which one is 51%? Which
I'll
one's
pick
49%?
I'll pick Run DMC. You're happy now?
I'm very happy, Allison. Thank you so much. That makes me happy. I'm blushing on the outside and inside. So I love that. Here we go.
I'll always love that man. I'll always love that man. I love that man to death. I love him.
As you should, as we should, because it's very good. No question about that. Um, last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Boys the Men or New Edition?
Boys the Men, and I did. That's one of I did see them. I did see them concert. They were part of that first concert. They were there.
I
So
love it.
yeah,
I love it.
Boys the Men was they totally impressed me. They totally impressed me. They
Okay,
totally
I'm
impressed
with
me.
you on that. I love that. Um, Now I'm going to go to sports. Which sport on TV would you rather watch? Would you rather watch basketball or football?
Depends what my man wants to watch.
Okay. Well, which one would you rather watch if you was by yourself?
I don't know. It depends on my mood. I mean, do I
Well,
want
what
to watch
mood you
people
what
get? Do I want people get tackled, or do I want people get tackled? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I picked basketball just because I like watching them when they leap into the basket. It's fun when they leap.
Okay, that's cool. I'm with you on that. Now, which sport would you rather play if you had to play it? Badminton or bowling?
I'm terrible at both of them. Oh my God,
Okay.
I'm much
So
better at basketball. I'm terrible at tennis. I hit the ball over the fence when I play tennis.
Okay. So hold on. So do you so the lesser of two evils, would you choose bowling over badminton since you like, or
Yeah,
would you
because
choose?
eventually I'll get a strike at bowling. I won't win the
Okay.
game, but eventually I'll
Okay.
get a strike.
Well, that matters.
Eventually.
That matters. That's all that matters. As long as you're having fun throwing that ball, you're doing what you do. Okay. So now I want to ask you: do you like desserts?
Yeah. Who doesn't like dessert?
You, Allison, you'd be surprised. There's been many people on this platform that has said they do not like desserts. But look at here. I'm going to name four categories to you. You got to choose one of these to get rid of. So here we go. The first category is grouped together. They're pies/cakes. Okay. The next category is candy. The next category is cookies. The last category is ice cream. Now, which one are you getting rid of?
The pies and the cookies and the candy. I just want the ice cream.
Let me guess, green tea ice cream. Let me guess, green tea ice cream.
Or
Oh my,
coconut or coconut. I like coconut ice cream too.
Coco, what? Did you what? Did you say coconut ice cream? What
Mhm.
the? What in the hell? Oh my gosh! You named the two worst ice creams on the planet. Uh, that's okay, Allison. It's okay. It just proves there's a lot of things lovely about you, but it just proves you're not perfect. That's all. That's all it proves. So it's okay.
No, I'm not perfect. I'm never going to claim to be perfect, and I'm not.
That's good, and the ice cream said it all. So we don't need to say anything else on that. But look, do you like potato chips?
Mm-mm.
So you're not a salty person. You don't like saltiness.
Well, I have a mixed metabolism, so sometimes it creates salt, sometimes it creates sugar.
Okay,
If I my go-to snack is a snack from Trader Joe's. They're these baked uh, uh, green beans and a kind of like a cheesy powder flavor that's really delicious that I enjoy to snack on. And I keep it in the fridge whenever I want a snack.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I try not to do too many starches, and potatoes is starch.
That is very true. Okay, so I'll ask you a bonus music question. Okay, and that is, which concert, if you had to choose, which concert would you go to? Would you go see Whitney Houston or Celine Dion?
Ugh. You ask too many hard questions.
Listen, this is the Work Hard or Play Harder podcast, so you know hard had to come into it.
I will always love Whitney, but it's nothing to. It's Celine Dion blows my mind, so that's why I picked Leon because she blows my mind.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you on that. And listen, I know they were tough. They got tougher as we went, but you were a trooper and you did your thing. The only thing I would say is you got to get you some new flavors of ice cream to eat. That's the only thing I would say. Other than that, you did very well on this or that. You did very well, no question. But I want to ask you now because this next question is called bucket list. I would love to get you to give me a top four bucket list of scripts or roles that you would like to write or play in your media career that you haven't yet.
Uh, I, I, I don't. Huh? What? What? I'm not understand.
Basically, it's like a wish list. Like, what kind of scripts do you want to write? And what kind of roles that you might want to play or produce in your media career that you haven't done yet.
Uh, I guess because I
Like in the future projects that you do.
well, because I've already I have three scripts completed already.
Okay. And I'm sure you're going to
Yeah.
write more. So do you want to, is there certain scripts that you haven't written that you want to do?
Well, this is this is I'm gonna get very geekish. I'm gonna get very geekish right now. The thing
Okay.
I wrote to Seth MacFarlane on X earlier this year, and I know he knows J.J. Abrams, and I tried to encourage Seth MacFarlane to rewrite a better version of 789 of Star Wars, because I know the 789 J.J. Abrams BS is not based on the books whatsoever. It's not based on the
Right.
books whatsoever. It's
Right.
based on his interpretation of what he thinks 789 is. And it's so not based on the books. Because every person I've ever met who I've personally never read the books, but I've met people who read all the books that were written after the Return of the Jedi came out.
Right.
Basically, of the twins, of the boy and girl twins of Han and Leia, that they basically together defeat the Sith. And that
Mhm.
they're supposed to defeat the Sith. They're supposed to eradicate the Sith off the planet, off the universe, off the whole Star Wars universe.
Okay.
And the J.J. Abrams bullshit, the twins are not supposed to be fighting against each other. They're supposed
They're
to be
supposed to be
fighting,
fighting together.
they're supposed to be fighting together,
Okay.
being guided by Luke Skywalker as their master to defeat the Sith. And 789 J.J. Abrams bullshit pisses me off to no demise. Because if you want to see my lightsabers, I have
Oh, you a real fan. Oh, oh,
I
okay.
have the Darth Vader lightsaber. I
Wow.
have more lightsabers right there.
Okay.
My Mace Windu lightsaber was stolen by the LAPD.
You said the cops stole your lifesaver?
My Mace Windu lightsaber.
Your Mace
I,
Windu lifesaver,
when I
the
had
cops stole it?
when I had my first 5150. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Wow.
they stole
Okay.
it because when I
Oh,
got back home, I still had the stand to prove it. I still have the stand to prove it. That I kept the stand, and the Mace Windu was gone. You know the Samuel L. Jackson one that
yeah,
made the
yeah. Oh,
noises.
yeah. Hmm.
That thing is hard to find now. It made the noises of the Samuel L. Jackson, the color, and everything, and they stole it from me. That's how much hardcore Star Wars fan I am, and how if I had it, you know, if I wrote this segment for on X trying to encourage him to rewrite 789 the way it is based on the books, because all the hardcore Star Wars fans, they hate 789 the way J.J. Abrams did it. They hate it.
Right.
Would you like to see my baby Yoda?
Sure, sure, show it all to me.
My baby Yoda.
Wow, look at that.
So, so if I had in my way, if I had my way to connect, because I would love Seth MacFarlane to rewrite it, to write the 789 based on the books, of
Hmm.
the books that were written after the Return of the Jedi, and that I want to see the Sith defeated, like the
Hmm.
Sith eradicated from the planet. Because just because Darth Vader died does not mean that the Sith were eradicated. There's still plenty of Sith around the universe, hiding around the universe of the Star Wars universe, that were not defeated. And that's why I hated the J.J. Abrams 789. If I ever meet him, I'm not going to be nice to him. But like, it was stupid. It wasn't based on the books at all. Anyone who's a
Well, I'll tell
hardcore
you, Allison. I
anyone
don't
who's
think
a
I've
hardcore
watched.
Star Wars fan, you know?
Right, I don't think I've watched one Star Wars movie. I'm getting educated right now. I don't think I watched one. I
Well,
don't think I watched one.
if you know who Joseph Campbell is, then you
Hmm.
comprehend that Star Wars is supposed to be based on Joseph Campbell. And that's why J.J. Abrams did it wrong. Because it's supposed to be all linked back to Joseph Campbell. Do you know who Joseph Campbell is?
No. Who is Joseph Campbell? No, I do not.
Amazing philosopher about metaphysics, about a metaphor and mythology and metaphysics, and he was an amazing philosopher. And George, you know, George Lucas was inspired to create Star Wars based on Joseph Campbell. So if it doesn't
Mhm.
go back to the lineage of Joseph Campbell, then it's bupkis. It's totally bupkis. It has to go all the way back to the original. I'll go all the way back to Joseph Campbell.
Okay, so
Hmm.
let me get back to the original question. What scripts will you write in the future, or do you want to see yourself writing in the future? Like you say, you wrote three.
Writing with make either me or Seth MacFarlane or someone else being able to write the 789 that should have been done of the Sith being defeated
Oh,
and
so you
the
want to
nine.
remake those? Is what you saying?
To make it the way it's supposed to be, based on
Okay,
Joseph Campbell, based
okay.
on the books that were written after Star Wars, based on of the actual of what it was supposed to be. Not the man. Every time I watch 79, if I ever see it on cable, I'm nothing but upset. It's not based on Joseph Campbell. It's not based on the books.
I'm sorry I opened a wound there. I didn't mean to open a wound. I was just trying to get your perspective on some scripts that you might want to write as a script writer in the
Hmm.
industry. But
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
that's it. But that's a great segue um to this next um question, which is advice. What is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
My favorite Nichiren Daishonin quote, that's my Buddhism, Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, is
Hmm.
the sword is useless in the hands of a coward. That's
Okay.
my favorite Nichiren Daishonin quote because it's like, like just like with this ring. This is a diamond sapphire ring I never take off, and there's a
Mm.
story behind this ring if you'd like me to tell you.
Go ahead. Talk to me.
Okay, so my mother was in our my Buddhist organization. We have small community districts for the members in a particular area of Los Angeles or a particular area where they live. The small area is called like a district, where it's like a home for the members. And my mother was a chapter leader. That means that she was looking after several districts. And that one particular district that she was supporting, this man named Spike
Hmm.
was in love with my mother and gave her this diamond sapphire ring from the 1950s to try
Wow.
to lure her away from my father.
Okay.
My mother kept the ring, basically tried to say no to Spike as nicely as she could, and she changed districts and she hid this ring from my father. And she never told my father about the ring. My dad now knows about the ring, but he didn't know at the time. And my mother showed me she got this ring, and she showed me where she hid it. And when my mom died 2 years ago, I put the ring on. I never take it off to remind myself because to me, I know my dad won't see this video, so I don't care. She would have been
Mhm.
much more happy. She would have been much more happy with Spike than she was ever with my father.
Wow.
I think she would
Mm.
have been much more happier with Spike. Spike would have been much more her vibe and her style and the way that she was. But because of her fear that a third husband be worse than her second husband, because my father, he's a temperamental man and he was more temperamental than my mother's first husband. So because
Right.
my mother had this fear she had this fear that a third husband would be worse. She didn't go after Spike, and Spike died. He didn't die that old. He died. He never married because he
Hmm.
always loved my mother, and he died. He didn't die that old. And I have things that Spike had that they gave at the memorial. I went to his memorial,
Okay.
and so this reminds me to never be afraid to go after my dreams and never be afraid. When I always look at it, to never be afraid, because my mother, she was a wonderful woman, but she just had this fear. She just that she could not overcome, and and so she So it just reminds me to not be afraid, to be fearless, and not to be afraid, to go after my dreams, go after my goals, go after my determinations, go after what I want, and not to be afraid. Because I know she would have been much more happy with Spike.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate the breakdown of that quote because I definitely was going to ask you about what the breakdown of that was, but you just broke
Mm-hmm.
it down so eloquently, and I really do appreciate that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my bonus, my bonus question to you that I was just thinking about in my mind is that is there a particular genre that you like, whether it's drama, comedy, horror, sci-fi? Um, that you like to? I know you talked about remaking the Star Wars movies, but if you had to create another original, um what kind of film and movie would you like to make, and what genre and why?
Well, all the scripts that I've completed that I'm going to be producing starting next year are all comedies.
Okay,
They're all comedies. The second film, as I said, is a dramedy rom-com. The third film is a sci-fi fantasy comedy.
okay, what's that?
And that's my new script. It's a whole world that I created. It's never been done on film before.
Really?
I created a whole new world that's never been done ever been done on film before. And it's
Wow. So you
and
so you like
when I started writing this script in college at CSUN, and they were reading the script in the class, everyone who was the whole class was rolling in laughter. And I'm not trying to brag or something, but they
mhm.
all were laughing. They all were laughing, and everybody in the classroom was laughing. And it's a and I, don't, I it's just a shame they haven't really done that many sci-fi fantasy comedies. They
I
really
have
have.
heard of none. I haven't heard of any.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And this is a sci-fi fantasy comedy.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the title
Mm-hmm.
of?
Anul.
Oh, Anul. That's the title.
Anul. Anul.
Oh, wow.
'Cause
Okay.
that's the name of the planet.
And what does the planet represent?
It's I just created this idea in my head of this whole fantasy, of this whole world of people, and it's a fantasy planet. It's nothing but fairies and dragons. It's nothing but fairies and dragons, and it's the coloring of it, and it's completely going to be an animated film. You know, the latest and greatest of digital animated film. It's going to be completely digital animated film.
I'm
That
very
that's
excited
my that's
to.
my that's my third film. That's my third
Yeah.
film.
No, no, listen, you've been grinding. You've been working hard writing these films. I really, really want to see your work come out to fruition, be able to look at it, observe it. This has been absolutely a very interesting conversation of just talking about your why, talking about why you do what you do, talking about your love, your passion for media, producing, storytelling, script writing, going to see Sun. But starting off at in Los Angeles at some of the other colleges, getting your AA, but then going to CSUN, getting your BA, and just being in the industry. And also talk about your production company as well, real quick. Is there any more, I would say, things that you're going to be involving in your production company?
I also love Kubrick films, and I
Hmm.
believe in focusing on one film at a time. Just trying I'm trying to get the edit done of the documentary. I'm trying to get the casting done of the second film. I
Sure.
got the script out. I got the script out. The most of the casting's been done, but not all of it. Trying to get the script out to the acting in the second
What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's coming on with me today. She is a producer and a screenwriter, an artist. Her name is Alison Laurie Lott. And we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into media. We're also going to ask her some get to know you questions as well. We're going to talk about some of the projects that she's worked on as Never Give Up, being one of them, Mi Amor, being another one. And we're going to talk to her also and get to know her as well and see, well, the projects she has going on. So without any further ado, I'm definitely going to reach out to Alison, get on this live here. I hope everybody joins us on this live. Also ask her about her name, Charlie Gerbera, on Instagram. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having her on. No question. Appreciate Steph coming on. So yes, we are definitely waiting the arrival of Alison Laurie Lott. Waiting on her arrival, and when she comes on, it's going to be on and popping. No doubt about it. Let's see. All right, we are live here once again on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And yeah, we are just waiting on the arrival of Alison Laurie Lott. All right, here we go. Yes, indeed. Also, let's make sure that's up. Okay. All right. Going live with Ali right now. Yep. Accept. Absolutely. Come on with it. Let's view it. Oh,
Sorry
here
to
we
make you
go.
wait. Sorry. Did I keep
That's
you waiting?
okay. That's okay. How we doing, Allison?
I'm gonna turn the radio off. I'm doing. I'm surviving. I'm surviving another day. Making the
Oh, that
impossible possible. Surviving another day.
okay. Well, that's good to hear.
Mhm.
I'm glad to have you on this live here on my IG, on my Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I appreciate it. I want to ask you, how is your week starting off so far? How was your Monday?
It was interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay. Talk to me. Talk to me. Why was it interesting?
Because I met you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it was interesting because of that. I mean, listen, I would say I'm a pretty cool guy to meet. That's what I would say. So there's no question about that. Um, there's no question. Now you being a screenwriter and you being a producer, we're definitely going to get into that. But my first question to you, Allison, is the name that you have on your Instagram is Charlie Gerbera, if I'm saying that right. Talk to
Yeah.
me. Talk to me about that name and that alias. What's that all about?
That pen name started. I wrote an article for a weed magazine, and I wanted to create something very unique for
Mm-hmm.
for a pen name. I wanted to create a very unique, very interesting pen name. And since I love all Charlie Chaplin films, the Charlie comes from Charlie Chaplin, but I
Mm-hmm.
figured, I'll drop the E and make it just Charlie without the E for a girl. And
Okay.
Gabera comes from my favorite flower, the Gabera daisy. I was like, well, I love the Gabera daisy. So that's how I came up with it. And then later on, I ended up using it for my Instagram. And then later on, I ended up using it for my production company, using my pen name for my production company under Charlie
Absolutely.
Gabera Productions.
No doubt,
Mm-hmm.
no doubt. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know there was a flower called that until you just said something. So
Oh,
you learn something new every day. That's for sure.
yeah, oh wait, can I, oop, what I do?
You
Oh,
you went off the screen, but that's okay. That's all right.
wait, how do I go back on? Sorry,
There you
sorry,
go.
I pushed the wrong button, sorry. I was
That's
trying to push
okay.
this to show you Gaberra daisies. That's what
Oh,
Gaberra daisies
okay.
look like.
All right. Those are nice. Those are pretty. I like that. Now,
Sorry about that. So
that's
yeah,
okay.
those are like, the artificial Gaberra daisies, and they come in many. The cool thing about them that they're beautiful, and they're people who are allergic to flowers won't be allergic to them because there's no scent to them, and
Mhm.
they're just big beautiful flowers. So I've always loved the sunflower. This is another flower that I love, the Gaberra daisy. So.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Mhm.
like that. Now, my first question to you, official question, is what I would always say to everybody here that comes on the podcast. Is really simple. Is what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into the media industry?
um, when uh, when I first went back to school, see, I went to Pierce College from
Mm-hmm.
'94 to '97, and I was a college dropout at that point. I had to
Mm-hmm.
burn out of school, and I had to burn out of school altogether. So I ended up going to massage school, learning all about the human body, and I was professional massage therapist for many years.
Okay.
And 'cause I went to California Healing Arts College, and I learned pregnancy massage and Reiki and chair massage and deep tissue, and I learned all these different kinds of massage. And I was working at that time. You could work for chiropractors and work under their license, and so that's all I was doing until like the license thing changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I'm a schizo, as I talk about in a documentary, being a schizoaffective woman, when I had my first 5150 of my burnout
Right.
of not being properly, it wasn't until now that I'm being properly medicated. It was a lot of years, a lot of being on the wrong medication, and in that journey of getting that 5150, I was like, I want to go back. I want to go back to school, and
Sure.
I took art classes, and as I was taking art classes, I had an epiphany. I was like, I really want to be in film. I really want to write film. It just hit me like a bolt of lightning. Like
Okay.
I really want to write film. So I switched my major from art to screenwriting. I took a bunch of all these screenwriting classes at Wesley Community College, and then I ended up, and then I graduated Wesley Community College with a liberal arts AA degree, and then I continued taking screenwriting at CSUN. I transferred from Wesley Community College to CSUN after I got my AA liberal arts,
Okay.
and continued to the point I got my Bachelor of Arts in Cinema Screenwriting. And I should have been a minor in philosophy because I always loved my philosophy classes. I always took lots of philosophy classes, and me and the professor ended up walking for out of the class for an hour later talking about philosophy. That's what I should have minored in. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I was very, I was, it just dawned on me while taking art classes that I wanted to be in film. And so, I was really lucky that I was able to get screenwriting jobs pretty early on. I put an ad. Remember Craigslist back in the day?
I
my
do
very
remember
first
that.
screen, my very first screenwriting job. I put an ad to try to get connected to the industry, and said it out that I just got my degree in screenwriting, and I put this ad out, and that's how I got my first screenwriting job, through doing a Craigslist ad.
Wow.
That's how I got my first screenwriting job. because I was like saying that I just got my degree in screenwriting, and I want to get connected to the industry, and I want to be an assistant or whatever
Mhm.
and that's how I got my first screenwriting job. And then the other screenwriting jobs I got through other people, and that but my it wasn't until my mother met Jennifer Brands Mendoza through my Buddhist organization, being I'm born and raised Buddhist,
Okay.
that that Jennifer Brands Mendoza met my mother, my mother's been passed on now for 2 years now. But
Okay.
at that time, I've known Jennifer Brands Mendoza for 10 years now, and my mother, she bragged about me all the time when I was a kid. So she was bragging when she met Jennifer, she was bragging about me, how I was a screenwriter and how I did all those other jobs. And so through Jennifer, I was able to get my first official IMDb credit by
Okay.
being the screenwriter for Me and More, which won, I don't even know how many awards it won. Jennifer had it all over different film festivals all over the country, all over the world. She took that film all over the world. And so, yeah, so that was my first IMDb credit. And I was also the script doctor for Jennifer's Her Choices, that
Okay.
she's trying to get the edit finished and get that in film festivals.
Okay.
So, yeah, so as I learned from Jen, watching her do her production company, like, yeah, I could do, cause I didn't want to, I did my own personal scripts that I worked on and finished during the pandemic, for the beginning pandemic, 2020,
Absolutely.
that, I, I finished all my scripts that I started working on in college when I was going to CSUN. And I was like, I don't want to sell these. I want to do these myself. So that's why almost a year ago, I started my own production company, and I
Okay.
decided my very first production for my production company would be about me being a schizoaffective artist, and how common it is in the arts for
Mm.
mental illness in the arts, because people don't realize how common it is. They don't
Sure.
realize it.
Um,
They don't.
and I and I appreciate your transparency, Allison. I really do. It's wonderful. Obviously, there's a lot of things that people can love about you. I've said a few to you offline, and I'll tell you here. I think you are terrific in writing. I think you are a great producer, great for the media, beautiful as well. I think that just you have a warm, just feeling about you, which is amazing. And I want to I want to follow up with that though, because you talked about it. The schizophrenic artists. When did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, or when was you diagnosed? Unfortunately, with that, and um, talk to me about the importance of people knowing that there's more artists and more people in media, more people in the arts that are like this. But tell me about you personally. When did you find out that you were?
Uh, I wasn't properly diagnosed as schizoaffective to to 2014.
Okay, so about 11 years ago.
That I was finally, because I kept thinking I was bipolar one,
Right.
and and they kept putting me on the wrong medication. And it wasn't until Dr. Wexler said, and when that he was like, I think you're schizoaffective. And it would then, I've been with Dr. Weisberg now, the psychiatrist Dr. Weisberg, since 2019, and he's really cool. He has a pagoda on his wall. He has a quote from John Lennon on his wall. He's got crystals
Okay.
on his desk. I was like, this
Okay.
guy is cool. And I've been with him now for 6 years, and he's confirmed it. He's like, yeah, you're schizoaffective. And the thing is, schizoaffective is not that common, and people don't realize it's not that common. That's why they thought I was bipolar, or because bipolar and schizophrenia and even unipolar is more common than schizoaffective. And so, that's why it took so long to be properly diagnosed, because it's so uncommon. And the easiest way to explain that, I just say, yeah, it's a combination of bipolar and schizophrenia. That's the easiest way to explain schizoaffective. It's a combination of several different things. And, it's just, I basically, eh, my grandfather, my aunt ever wrote a book, Don't Go Crazy Without Me.
Right.
And that's my Aunt Deborah's second book. And she writes about how it affected her as a child, dealing with my grandfather, because schizoaffective was not fully understood, and the medication that I'm on did not exist yet when my grandfather was alive. So you
Sure.
got to understand how that affected my aunt and my Uncle Bob. Happy birthday, Uncle Bob! How it affected my aunt and my Uncle Bob and my father, being that they did not have, the medication that I have that didn't exist yet. Because even though schizoaffective was first discovered in the 30s, it wasn't until the 90s they were like, okay, we think this is a real thing. Okay, we think it's a real thing. But
Right.
it's just, yeah, I'm using myself as an example as a schizoaffective artist in my documentary. But the poster literally says that 89% of all artists, which is a little statistic, that I had two people doing research for me, that
Right.
that they either have depression or anxiety or some kind of something going on in their head. That
Sure.
the majority of the artists get something going on in their head. Get something.
Right.
Majority of the artists get something, and that's why at the beginning of the documentary we read a list of all the artists that's commonly known or they have publicly said, that they have some type of mental disability, some type of mental handicap. And we're showing pictures of a normal brain versus a schizophrenic brain. A normal
Okay.
brain, because you get with PET scans and MRIs and all that stuff now, you can show that there's many pictures you can find on Google about the what a anxiety brain looks like and what a normal brain looks like. And so
Sure.
we're showing the different how literally how the brain functions differently when it's this particular type of mental illness versus what's considered normal brain.
Right.
A
Right.
non
Right.
a non excuse me, a non mentally ill brain, someone who's considered sane versus who knows what the spectrum is of their problem. So
Sure.
that's how the documentary opens. And I'm using Travis Frank's I have permission to use one of his songs. Travis Frank and I've known him almost 2 years now.
Okay.
I call him my little bro. Do you know who Travis Frank is?
I do
Do
not.
you know?
I was about to ask you, who is
Oh,
he?
oh, he's an amazing musician. He plays just like Jimmy. I think he was Jimmy
Okay.
actually. And you know which
Okay.
Jimmy I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jimi Hendrix.
I hope you was talking about Jimmy Hitchens and not Jimmy
Of
Buffett. That's
course.
for sure. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
when he first picked up a guitar, he was playing just like Jimi Hendrix.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and
Totally.
he looks like Mozart and he plays like Jimi Hendrix.
Okay. Enough said on that. I like that. Now, I want to ask you because you did go. You talked about going to Pierce College in Los Angeles, but you did graduate from there, and you went on to
No, I
CSU.
graduated from West LA Community College.
Oh, that's right, Western Lake. But you went on to CSU Northridge, and you
Mhm.
graduated with your bachelor's there. Talk to me.
Mhm.
Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to those particular schools to get your associates and get your bachelor's?
Well, the cool thing about West LA Community College, the professors that work at UCLA also work at West LA Community College.
Wow.
So you're getting, it's more affordable, but you're getting that that more educated, more well trained teacher at
Right.
West LA Community College. So that was like, and at that time, I didn't live that far from West LA Community College, so it was like it was a no brainer. CSUN, because I was just when I was looking to get my Bachelor of Arts in Cinema Screenwriting. and I was looking at these universities, and CSUN was, it still is, one of the top film schools in California.
Okay.
It's right up
Okay.
there with USC and UCLA. It is one of the top film schools in California. So I was like, well, I don't want to do. I was like thinking about, I don't want to do the quarter system of the UCLA. I thought that'd be too stressful. My dad's all like, you shouldn't do a quarter system, it'd be too stressful. I'm like, yeah, I agree with him. I was like, I should do the regular standard semester. And, and I didn't want to deal with the USC and how expensive it is and everything. So
Sure.
CSUN was it was like it was easier. It was more affordable, and it was a good for the screenwriting department. It was a really highly well scored, because you can look this all up on Google now. You look it up, the ratings of schools and their programs, and so that's why I was like,
Absolutely.
okay, fine. I'll move back to the valley, and now my dad loves that I live in the valley, because I live so close to him, being that I take care of him in addition to doing my films, in addition to being a shaman minister, in addition to doing the
Oh,
meta influencing. So you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you didn't know that I had a minister's license, did you?
No, I did not. I did not. But that's
Yeah.
amazing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I do that donation basis where I bless the people's home, or I bless whatever balancing they need in their home or with themselves or something. I just do it by donation. I don't put a price on it. Whatever they can afford, you know.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
with you
and
on that.
I do, if I have time, want to get the official marriage license, and do weddings if people want non-denominational wedding.
That'd be
You
amazing.
know,
That would be amazing if you did.
more of a spiritual wedding than the whole, you know, more casual, less formality. So, you
Right.
know.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love that
Mm-hmm.
answer. I want to ask you about some favorite things of yours. I'm gonna ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Crepes. I can make the most delicate, the most tiny little yummy little crepes. They're fun to make.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
The key in a good crepe is how much you whip that batter. How
Mm,
much you whip that
that
batter.
sounds
The
delicious.
more you whip the batter, the better.
That sounds delicious, Allison. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I may have to pull up next time I see you in California. That's for sure. Might have to make a crepe for me. That's for sure. I'm with you on that. I'm a huge taco person, so I love tacos. So yeah, that's my thing. I do love that. Um, favorite concert you've ever attended?
Well, the very first concert I ever attended ever,
Hmm.
uh, I got a free ticket through my. I've known Chuck Williams as a little kid, and he used to work for Capitol Records a long time ago before he retired. So I got a free ticket, and I was on the sixth row of like an R&B '90s concert. You name the R&B, the hardcore, like Belle Biv DeVoe, Keith
Oh,
Sweat.
yeah.
You name the '90s R&B artists, they were in that concert. And
Okay.
that was my very first concert. And my ears took several days to be normal again.
I bet they did. I bet they did. I definitely would have enjoyed myself. Bell Biv DeVoe, Poison,
Mhm.
Keith
Mhm.
Sweat, Make It
Mhm.
Last Forever. I
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
that's my
they had a lot of that. It was several artists from back in the day of the R&B '90s artists. It was
I grew up on
several of
that.
them.
I definitely
I
grew
do
up on that.
remember the Belle Biv DeVoe, and I do remember the Keith Sweat part. There was several of them.
Okay, that's what's up. I
Hmm.
like that. I like that. Favorite place, Allison, that you've ever traveled to?
I had so much fun in New Orleans. I had
Oh,
so much fun. I had so much fun in New Orleans. New Orleans is great. Unfortunately, I was too young to drink a hurricane, and I want to come back just to try a hurricane.
mhm. I know exactly what you're talking about. I had to decline the invitation because I went there for work purposes. I was there at the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
when the Super Bowl was there this past year, so I couldn't really do that. But
Mm-hmm.
they did have a media party for us, and when we had the media party, I asked for a hurricane, and nobody knew how to make it. So I was like, okay, just let me get my hen and Coke, and I'll be good. So give me my Hennessy and Coke,
Yeah,
and they
because I
gave me that.
remember, when I remember wandering around Bourbon Street and
Hmm.
tripping out on these naked mud wrestling signs and these, and
Okay.
I was tripping out on New Orleans. I was tripping out on it. Basically, the reason I went, I just graduated from high school, and my parents were like, "Hey, let's do a trip to celebrate graduating high school." And I
Right.
said, "I always wanted to see New Orleans." So what we did was my grandparents, my mom's parents, flew from Florida to and met us in New Orleans, and it being a whole big family trip.
Hmm.
And my grandparents and my parents, and at that, my dad was still drinking alcohol at that time before his atrial fibrillation got too bad that he couldn't drink alcohol anymore. And I
Right.
remember him drinking a mint julep that a lot more julep than mint. And he was the one that was driving too.
Oh my God. He was drinking and driving? Come on, Allison. Oh, don't tell me that.
But
Man.
luckily, everything was fine. Everything was fine. I'll never forget being in New
Okay.
Orleans. We found a hole in the wall restaurant, and I ate this seafood gumbo. The bowl was bigger than a steering wheel, and I devoured the whole thing. And I was like, uh. Oh,
Oh, okay.
I always get frustrated when they try to do New Orleans food in LA because they can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. Like, nope, this is wrong. This is because I've actually experienced real French onion soup. I've experienced real gumbo. I've experienced real, you know. So when I go to these places in LA that try to do it, I'm like, mm-mm.
That ain't it. I feel that. I feel that. New Orleans definitely got the food down, no question. Their beignets are good, which I'm sure you tried those. The alligator is good. The jambalaya is good. I had chicken and
It's
gumbo
good.
when I tried it,
Everything's
so
good in New Orleans. Their food is decadent.
no question. I love that, and it's also my favorite place as well to go to as well. So I love that.
And I have a picture of Preservation Hall on my wall because I totally tripped out listening to jazz at Preservation Hall. Do you remember Preservation Hall?
I remember it to an extent. The name more
It's
so
like
than the actual place.
it's like the birthplace of jazz, and it's falling apart, and they don't care. And
Mm, okay.
it's really really old, and you name the old time jazz musicians, they played there at some point, and it's incredible, but it's wild how to watch the whole thing crumbling down because it's so old, but
Right.
it's cool.
Okay.
And you know,
Okay.
it was yeah. I've been to the birthplace of jazz because I've been on Bourbon Street, and I've been at the birthplace of the blues because I've been on Beetle Street in Memphis as well.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. That's what's up. Now,
Hmm.
I'm a sports person, Allison, so I'm gonna ask you the sports question. It's a two-part. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV. Favorite sport you like to attend in person. They can be the same sport.
I always look forward to the Summer Olympics so I can watch gymnastics.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
just, I find I know how hard those women work, especially watching the women. Because I have a friend of mine who used to be a gymnast, and I know how they have to work out every single day, and how they
Mhm.
have to push their bodies every single day to do that perfect moves every single day. So I look forward to watching the Olympics so I could watch the women's gymnastics. And in person, um, I hate this. The only like official like sport I've ever seen in person is I've been to Dodger games. So I've
Mm.
seen Dodger games in person. I've never seen the Lakers play. I should have seen the Lakers play, being an LA girl, but nope, never seen the Lakers play. I've only seen the Dodgers play. And
Well,
the last
we got
time that
to change that, Allison. Go
the
ahead.
last time that the Dodgers won the World Series was on my birthday.
Oh wow!
So,
So last year it happened on your birthday.
hmm
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah.
obviously, we definitely gonna have to change that up because LA has a tremendous amount of sports teams there, from the
hmm
Angels, the Kings,
Actually,
UFC.
Angels is Sandy. I thought Angels is Orange OC.
Well, they're Los Angeles. They're still Los Angeles Angels, but you know they're probably not in the heart of Los Angeles, but they're still a part of Los Angeles. So it's still two teams there in LA, pretty much.
hmm
Um,
hmm
you got the Lakers and the Clippers as well.
hmm
Clippers games are
Yeah,
probably a
I've
little bit.
never seen it. I've never seen a Clipper game either.
Oh, well, so we got to
I've
get you
only
out.
seen it
That's
on
okay.
I've only seen it on TV.
That's no problem. We're gonna get you out there because LA is gonna be super busy next year because of the fact that the All Star Game basketball is gonna be there. Super Bowl the following year, not this upcoming year, which this season, but the next year is gonna be in Inglewood, which is the home of the LA Rams
Yeah,
and LA Chargers.
I'm familiar with the SoFi Stadium. I know where it is.
Yeah, so there you
Mm-hmm.
go. The Super Bowl is gonna be busy out there. So listen, we got to get you to some more games for sure. I'm a
Well,
huge Chargers.
I'm just looking forward to the Olympics being in LA. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Another, yep, it's going to be crazy these next few years for sure. But I
Mm-hmm.
love that. I love the fact you said Olympics, and I love the fact that you said the other sport as well. I'm a huge basketball and football person. Love those sports.
Well,
Basketball.
I was on the basketball team in high school, so
Mm,
I
okay,
did
okay.
until well, I did the training, and then they're like, your grades aren't good enough, and they kicked me off the team. But I did the training for the basketball team.
Well, I'm happy you did the training, Allison. Look at you
Mm-hmm.
out there doing your thing, training for basketball. I love that. Now, my last of the favorites is I'm a huge foodie. One of my favorite places out there in LA to eat is Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. You just can't beat it. I love me some Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. What is your favorite place to eat out there in LA?
Cafe Brazil.
Oh, okay, okay.
Cafe
Hmm.
Brazil is decadent. It's decadent. It's so good. It might. I don't know how authentic it is because I've never been to Brazil, but it's wonderful. It's decadent. Their passion fruit mousse is no added sugar, and it's just the fruit juice, the passion juice, and the I love their red snapper, and I don't eat their plantains 'cause I don't try to eat fried food, but
Right.
I know it's decadent. It's a decadent restaurant, and it's very popular. It's in Culver City.
Okay. Well, next
And
time I'm out there,
and
I would definitely have to say,
they know my face. They know my face. I've been eating there for over 20 years.
oh wow. Well, next time I'm out there, I'm definitely gonna have to check that place out, but I'll definitely have to say hello to you as well. That's for sure. No question about that. Um, I want to ask you about your day to day, right? You running your own production company, like you said, under the name of Charlie Gerbera. You've done some writing as well, script writing as well, as screenwriter as well. So I want to know, what is your day to day process of, working, of getting things together? How many things are you writing? How many things are you producing? What kind of projects do you have upcoming? That you might want to talk about?
Well, we finished filming Mental Illness and the Arts of Schizoaffective Artists, and we're in the middle of the edit right now. And I want to do the premiere for that film on the CSUN campus where I graduated from in May of next year. I hope we could come.
Mm,
I hope everyone could come to the premiere on the CSUN
mm,
campus. And I have a connection with my friend Julian to Netflix and Hulu and Paramount. and whatever streaming service gives me the largest bid, I'm just going to sell it straight to streaming for the documentary.
Okay.
And the second film, I've already done pre-production of that film, Love with the Side of Me, and you get to